sir, you've been the architect of the anti-DC cartel cause, of which
yes, the fart air fantasy of right-wing lunatics, the Roseanning of the party.
We all are at the ramparts for it. Give us some guidance today, Coach.
Well, I think, it's very clear Steve Scalise is not a paradigm-shifting speaker. He's not an America First.
You're not going to get a paradigm-shifting speaker, motherfucker. You don't have a paradigm-shifting number of votes.
Speaker designee, and it's clear he doesn't have the votes. And I don't know if he's going to wake up today or tomorrow or the next day. But I think what he was hoping for was that there would not be opposition on the floor, that he'd be able to just bums rush this thing and get it to the floor. And yes.
Yeah, just because. Well, I mean, he's there. They just, when are they going to start calling him the new John McCain? Because he's a hero because he was wounded. I like heroes that weren't wounded. So who's going to say that to him?
That became very clear. Not only do many of the individuals that were there in January and others that were there in the Gates initiative, but
the Gates initiative sounds like a movie from the 70s that was like a knockoff of, there's the Odessa Files, there's the Gates initiative.
Other coalitions, even moderates, are opposed to this, and so this is a wide open race. And I think it's important to zoom out for a second for those who are.
It's a wide open race because no one can get to the front. There is no finish line. They don't even know what the fucking prize to win it is. Of course, it's not even a wide open race. These motherfuckers have just been released into a field. It's like, like you think about this as like a regular race. It's like they have a starting line and crack, everybody starts running. This is more like they're all standing in a circle facing out, and they just and go, and they just spread out like just atomizing like a fucking sneeze.
They're saying that the Congress is in disarray and there's chaos. We have a funding deadline that's coming up in mid-November, and it is vital to be able to get that right.
Get that right. Oh, nice. Barbie, we'll see you at the Nerd Halen show. Very exciting. And don't forget, everybody, on the 20th here in Las Vegas at the Hard Rock, Nerd Halen. Get your tickets today.
Every single agency that is a part of the federal government that gets its funding, including the Department of Defense, including all of the funding for state and foreign.
Yeah, we know how shit works, dumb fuck. You're the one making sure that nobody gets elected.
That has to be gotten right. And we can't govern by these.
I just stop there. You can't govern. You have no interest in governing, dumb fuck. You're not looking to create programs or policies. You're looking to destroy them. That's not governing. Basically you're running on the American people have been wrong for decades.
By the establishment using the events that are occurring around the world to cause us to make decisions.
By the way, why does this Center for Renewing America look like a diagram of an abortion clinic for aliens? It looks like some sort of weird, like, lobster IUD.
This is the red tree, and the roots go below the surface, so I think the line represents this is the ground level, and our roots are very shallow, but our tree is very big, and then blah. I made this little thing, I drew it on a napkin.
Decisions.
I put from the Center for Renewing America. Jesus Christ. Lizard birthing.
Faster than in our interest as Americans. This is an important issue to be able to settle and to be settled right. And thankfully, because enough members have said, Steve Scalise is just...
Thankfully, enough members have said, I'm not ready to settle this. I can't settle this because if it doesn't settle my way, it doesn't settle at all. And that's settled. Settle.
More of the same. It is... Remember, Steve Scalise is the guy that threatened Andrew Clyde and said he wouldn't bring his legislation to protect gun owning Americans.
Gun Americans? They're from the nation of gun, and they were brought here against their will.
Americans to the floor. Behind all of the...
Because they didn't have the votes for it, even in the Republican caucus, and he didn't want to embarrass the other Republicans who would vote against it because it was fucking lunacy, and he wanted to bring it right about the time a bunch of kids had just been slaughtered, and it was in bad taste. Huh.
decisions of Kevin McCarthy has been Steve Scalise. Steve Scalise is the one that ruined the Republican Study Committee and turned it away from being the conservative conscience of the House. That became the House Freedom Caucus, and he was largely unsuccessful because they came and were stronger than the RC ever was.
They're not stronger. They're obstinate. Motherfucker, they don't go to the floor and take a giant mallet and try to ring a goddamn bell. You don't have to be strong. You just have to be obstinate and not give a fuck. You have to be from a hard right district, and then you can just fucking sit there with your thumb up your ass. There's no strength in that. As a matter of fact, if you want to talk about the Republican conscience of the party, it's people who will side with that, who are in a purple district that are arguably the strong ones, because they know their seat is up for grabs. Matt Gates's isn't. Marjorie Taylor Greene's isn't. Boebert's a little quiet these days.
But in the last 10, 15 years, Steve Scalise has been behind the scenes pushing the cartel's interest, and we cannot allow
The cartel. Jesus Christ. I'm so tired of this fucking, like, dramatic language. I mean, it's bad enough when Bannon's talking tip of the spear and the armor-piercing shell and all this kind of stuff, talking about Mike Pillow that way. Well, I wonder why hasn't he described Mike Pillow as the tip of the spear and the armor-piercing shell lately, as he sells off his fucking company?